let's talk something fun. Let's talk the All-Star game, something that my bias will shine through. The Celtics do have two All-Star starters. I actually think that is the consensus. Um, Tatum finally became the third highest vote getter in the East, which is good because that front court is crowded. And I know it is tough to make a decision on a cut. For me, and I'm not saying it's an easy cut by any means, but if we're talking that all-star front court and you have your four options include Tatum, Giannis, Embiid, and Durant. Now Durant may make this easy for everybody involved if he misses enough time and maybe even misses the All Star break. I could easily see that happening. Um, he's projected to miss about 4 to 6 weeks, and that would kind of put him right around that timeline. So he may make this easy for everybody, and then in which Embiid, Giannis, and Tatum would simply start. However, assuming everybody's healthy, assuming everything is the way that it is, my cut, believe it or not, and I don't think I'm crazy for saying this, but I think it's Giannis. I think I think it's Giannis. Embiid is leading the league in scoring. How can the league leader in points, the league leader in scoring, not start the All-Star game? You could argue Embiid has missed too many games. I would say everybody's missed games. Everybody's missed games, except for Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum does not miss games. Iron Man. And another reason he should start in the All-Star game. Um, Embiid's got to start. Embiid's got to start. I think it also helps. I'm not saying you have to. It's not all NBA. All NBA, you have to have a center, right? When you go to vote. All Star game, it's whatever. It's two guards, three front court players. So that could be three small forwards. That could be three power forwards, three centers. It doesn't matter. I do think it's nice to have some big man representation because Nikola Jokic is going to start on the other side, um, and it'd be nice to see Embiid also get the nod. Those two could very well end up on the same team. Just depends on how they get drafted. I totally forgot it's not East versus West anymore. The two leading vote getters from each side obviously draft their teams. Um, we'll see how that shapes up. Probably going to be KD and LeBron again. It would be weird to see KD draft his replacement if he isn't healthy enough to go, but we've seen crazier things. Ultimately, I'm not trying to play up the All Star game too much. It's just, it is a good benchmark point. It's a good benchmark and it's a good tool to kind of get ready for All NBA at the end of the year. Um, it's a loaded league, man. This was not, picking these teams was not this hard 10 years ago. It was simply not. There's too many options in both conferences at both the backcourt and front court spots. It's just fully loaded. Um, in the East, and I've actually been an avid All Star voter this year, which is a little corny to me. But it's so easy now. Like they used to make it so difficult. But you just open the NBA app and you just vote. It's so easy now. And it's just like a fun little thing to do. It takes 30 seconds. I don't know. I'm like having to, as a man, explain why I'm voting on the All Star game. I shouldn't. Look, whatever. At the end of the day, somebody can swoop in and get Andrew Wiggins in the starting lineup, just like that happened last year. Also, shout out to Jeff Van Gundy last night on the stream. He said, "How is Andrew Wiggins not like the leading vote getter or one of the leaders in the West? Because last year he was an all-star starter, and this year he's playing even better than he was." I don't think he understood that it was that member of like the BTS music group who was like, "Andrew Wiggins is my boy, retweet this tweet," and it got like 10 million retweets, and then Wiggins was catapulted to the lead of the All-Star vote. So I don't know if Twitter votes are a thing anymore, because that was a little funny how we had Wiggins starting in the All-Star game. Not like he wasn't um, playing well, but he's not an All-Star starter by any stretch in this league. Anywho, the way I've been voting it is the way I've been voting it is not how I would recommend voting it. Um, but I've been voting with my heart. Okay, I've been voting with my heart. Actually, that's how I would recommend it. You vote with your heart, man. Don't vote analytically. It's the All Star game. Vote with your heart, man. Um, we only get so much say as fans anyway, which is probably a good thing because we don't. I say we. You people don't know what you're talking about. Well, if you're listening to the show, you probably know what you're talking about. You're probably a nerd like I am. But my go to lineup has been in the East, Jalen Brown in the backcourt. This is where I'm voting with my heart right here. James Harden right next to him. That's voting with my heart. If I was to be very legitimate about it, I'd probably go Donovan Mitchell. Now, I don't feel bad about the Harden thing, though. He's playing great basketball, and to me, he's just under the games threshold for league leaders. So Tyrese Halliburton still, who I love, is still leading the league in assists, but Harden does average more per game, and ultimately, I think he's going to get to enough games played to where he will end up being the assist king this season. Um, he's been fantastic as a playmaker, as a distributor of the ball. He's always had that in him, but now he's really hunting it out. He's seeking to get guys involved early and often. Last night he had a 16-point triple double with, I believe it was 15 or 16 assists to go with it. He is just a wizard. And if half of them are to Joel Embiid on pick and rolls, great. Um, Perfect. Get your big guy, get your superstar involved. It's clear that Embiid is the best guy on that team. Get him involved. I don't think they're cherry picking assists. I think it's just he's great in the screen and roll. He's great just uh, with the ball in his hands. He makes just tremendous decisions. He's always done that, but he now has somebody to carry the offensive load for him. And so he can kind of just play make and kind of get in where he fits in, which is, I think, ultimately the best role for him at this stage. You know, he has lost a step. Um, he is my favorite non-Celtic in the NBA. It's well documented. I am a James Harden stan, um, but that's where I'm voting with my heart. You could really say it's Donovan Mitchell starting in the backcourt next to Jalen Brown. I don't. I think Jalen Brown's pretty much immovable from that spot. There's nobody else I'm really thinking about for that. Um, I mean, Jalen's averaging just shy of 28 points a game. He's been he he's a good two-way player, not a great two-way player. I think we all wanted him to be a great two-way player. I think he has it in him. I think sometimes it is an effort thing. I called him out earlier in this episode just by saying sometimes he looks like he's taking a nap while the play is going on. But you know, uh, shooting it with great efficiency, one of the best pure scores this sport has right now, and that's including the fact that the man can't dribble in a straight line. I don't know if anybody else is familiar with Jalen Brown. That man can't dribble in a straight line. And when he adds that to his game, I know he's in year 7. But when he adds a little handle to that game, man, 35 points a game, dog. Seriously. Cuts the turnovers down. Wow, he's going to be nuts. I say that about a guy who's in year 7, but seriously, I mean, the handle, we got to work on it. He's got to be the best player of all time to not have a handle of any matter. No, the little in between the legs thing he does is not, I'm not counting that. I can do that. I can do that at Gold's Gym, not in the NBA, but you know what I'm saying. That's my backcourt, Harden and Brown. But obviously, Donovan Mitchell, the argument is there. I mean, the man scored 71. I'll give it to him. In the front court, obviously, yeah, Jason Tatum. He's the second guy in the MVP ladder right now. How do you not? You can't have him be the second guy in the MVP odds and then not have him be an all-star starter. The dude is nuts. He just had 51 the other day. He had a tremendous game last night. He shows up in these huge games. The game in LA, the game last night. Trying to think of other signature moments for the season. He's just a walking bucket. The closest thing I don't want to. It feels bold to say the closest thing to Kobe since Kobe. But really, I mean, he does really model his game after that with the footwork, with the shot making. That is who he is as a player, as an offensive player. And then to bring it on the defensive end, Tatum is great defensively. And I've been saying this for years, and he's never been better on that end right now. But since 2019, I've been fighting people. Watch games. Jason Tatum is special defensively. Um, he is now. We could have an argument about him and Giannis as best two-way player in the league. Um, I don't know. As of late, as of the past month, or maybe even the season as the whole, give me Jason Tatum as best two-way guy. He is special defensively. Um, I'm not saying he takes on the other teams. I'm not saying he takes the Luka Doncic for full 48 minutes, but he does not run away from those one-on-ones. He's a great team defensive guy. You saw him last night jump out in the passing lane, get a huge steal, swing the momentum of the game at that point in time. Huge fast break dunk just because he was reading the floor, anticipating the pass. He is special. There was a point in time where we thought Jaylen Brown was going to be the best defensive player on this team, or the better of those two at least. And that has not panned out like we thought it would. But I'm hoping Jaylen rises to the occasion. And in big spots, he does. Last night, he took on Curry for, I believe I saw a stat, 40% of Curry's minutes on the floor. Curry didn't take a lot of shots against him. He only took 2, but he missed both. The fact he wasn't shooting those shots on when Jaylen was on him, I think speaks volumes. Putting size on Curry and not dropping below the screen every single time Al Horford seemed to work last night. So there was some improvements in that regard. I am never going to finish this list. Brown, Harden, Tatum, Embiid. Case for Embiid, simple. You lead the league in points. You start in the All-Star game. I don't need to say anything else. The defense, the Philly is playing well. You're starting. So we have 2 Celtics and 2 76ers. That's not going to be the case. And then Durant is the been incredible. You could have an argument. I would argue, or I would have the argument rather. If you wanted to tell me Durant is also right there for best two-way guy. Durant's defense in year 16, wow, he looks phenomenal on the defensive end. And then offensively, you know what he is. And he's the efficiency splits. The guy shoots 56% from the field. He's not a big man. I mean, he is big, but he doesn't play back to the basket, hook shots, and chip shots. You know what it is. It's tough shots. It's mid-range. It's 3 balls. He takes contested shots at the rim. No shot Durant takes is open. He is constantly covered, seeked out by the other team, and shoots 56% from the field. That is something nobody else can say at that position in the way he plays. Defensively, lights out. You could have the argument that with him missing time, the Nets will miss him more defensively than offensively, which sounds crazy because of how good, and we just highlighted how good he's been. But defensively, he's that special and clearly the anchor of that Nets team. And we're seeing it right now. They could use help on that side of the ball. That is the East. Brown, Harden, Tatum, Durant, Embiid.